Kavali from first from India. So today, Windies B bowlers had a plan against you, like they bowled wide of the wicket, most of the balls against you. So how difficult it's for a batsman to make an adjustment on a slower pitch like this? Because on a slower pitch, you need to, you can hit on the side of the wicket, square of the wicket. It's very hard to hit straight down the ground. So how difficult it's for you to make an adjustment?
Yeah, like I said, they bowled to their plan, and I will always give them credit for that. They didn't actually change from their plan, whether they try something different. But it's never going to be easy to hit like square the wicket, especially when the wicket is up and down. You can't really make the adjustment. You're not sure which ball is going to come, so you got to try and put yourself in the best position to actually give it a chance to hit the ball. And it's all about tactical as well. You just don't want to really soak a lot of dot balls as well. If you can't really get the boundaries, you still have to look to try and rotate the strike as well.
Last question.
You've had a lot of big performances from individual guys this tournament so far. You've had Saad, Fawad, Tim Southee bowling real well, and then you've had Babar and Rassi performing, Evan Lewis performing. Have you guys done something special to get some team cohesion going, or would you just say that it's individual performances shining?
You made a very good point. I think it goes to show the strength of the team. It's not a one man, whether you're going to dip in with the bat or the ball. Everybody's actually playing a part at a crucial particular time as well. So I'm happy to see that. We have a lot of match winners. Those guys I mentioned, you saw how destructive they can be whenever they're on the go as well. So I'm really happy with how they actually take a lot of pressure off me, to be honest, as a captain, and then to go and open the batting as well. So it's very good to see. It's a good sign. So hopefully they can actually continue.
So is there any other Canadian player you're looking for within the team?
I will have to wait and see who will actually fit that final 11. I think we'll see them in the next game.
So how are you finding them in the nets?
No, they've been very good. The work ethic has been very good. Very disciplined, good, hard-working guys. And the thing about it, whenever they have a chance, present itself, they'll be ready.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you, Chris.
Hello to everyone, another exciting episode of Match Point by Dr. Adnan, and we are into day number 10. Cricket comes home and we are presenting to you the Global T20 Canada. So today the battle and the clash of the Titans again. So big matches again, as I told you yesterday. Today is a double header. The two matches would have been played today. The first match would have been played between the Cricket West Indies B and the Vancouver Knights, the two topmost teams in this league. And the second match will be among the two bottom teams between the Toronto Nationals and Montreal Tigers, who will do this battle, epic battle in the afternoon to still survive in this tournament before the playoff starts. So let's begin on the day number 10 on the first story of the match number 14th. The important match. So the Cricket B West Indies team was still the team to beat in this very tournament. So today was the day might be not in their favor. So as predicted, Cricket B West Indies, after winning the toss, put the opposition into the bat, what most of the teams were doing. So what happened? What happened next? The important match for the Cricket West Indies B team to have a psychological supremacy over the rest of the teammates and over the rest of the tournament teams. They need to be unbeaten at the top of the tournament, and Vancouver Knights were also needing then definite victory to stay apart from Edmonton Royals and along with the Winnipeg Hawks to stay away with a clear margin to qualify for the playoffs. And the Chris Gayle team was superb today. Chris Gayle, according to me, who was the Chris Gayle today, his bat started doing what he is famous for. The tall West Indian for which he is famous for. He did something brilliant. Any record which the West Indian can dream of or any man can dream of is the part of the Chris Gayle's bat. I mean, the first man to hit the triple figures in the T20 format, the first man to have the most hundreds, most 50 in this very format, and literally he has grabbed the every possible records in this format. So what happened when they put Chris Gayle and the Vancouver Knights into the bat? Something went wrong for the Cricket B West Indies, because Chris Gayle started scoring the runs. So what happened? He was bowled by Darrell Green on the 63 after making the 50 on the 55 balls. He made the brisk 60s the score and giving them the solid start to fly with, and the Vancouver Knights went into the good position. Evan Lewis, big expectations from him, but he couldn't support Gale for a long time and fell down shortly after doing something. And then on the 22, Chadwick Walton, the smart man from the Windies, he was the part of the T20 team, he was the part of the ODI, he was the part of the test. He went without scoring, without opening the bat. He had to go, he had to depart on 0. And then Dewson came the previous day, who was the man of the match for them, the savior for them. He made the valuable 30 down the track, and then obviously none other but the Andre Russell from the Islamabad United. He made 32 on the 18 balls and remained not out. This was very crucial at the end to accelerate the run rate. Andre Russell, who's having a huge experience of playing the T20s around the world, he was a part of the Islamabad United. He was the part of the earlier Calcutta Knight Riders. He was traded from the Delhi sometime before, and then he was a part of Dhaka Dynamites, and he's also playing for the Melbourne Renegades. So BBL, BPL, PSL, IPL, vast experience, and he again proved that why he's a lethal man down under, down the track. And then the Babar Hayat, the Hong Kong man, he made 14 runs on 5 balls. Last nail in the coffin for the Cricket B West Indies. Who amongst you who are not familiar with the name Babar Hayat, I may tell you, he is a Pakistani based and a Pakistani born Hong Kong based player. Hong Kong, he's playing for the Hong Kong team, and he is famous for his 53 on his debut when he was given the chance to play against Afghanistan. He has made him 50, but unfortunately Hong Kong lost the match because that day Afghanistan played very well. So in short, the score reached 175 for the loss of 4 wickets in the given quota of 20 overs. So the match was evenly balanced because we knew that the Cricket West Indies B is the team which can chase and who are able to chase the target even above 200, what they have done on the debut day and on the upcoming day. Tim Southee, Fawad Ahmed, Stephen Jacobs and Sheldon Cordell couldn't bat because Chris Gale was enough to do the damage. So among the bowlers, I may tell you, Rutherford was little bit expensive with a 4 overs and 18 ball, 4 overs, 18 runs and 0 wickets. And the most expensive was Darrell Green with a 4 overs and 33 runs, but he was the pick of the wickets with the 3 wickets in his pocket. So coming back now to the bowling side, now the Cricket West Indies came to bat. We thought that again it will be an easy chase and some miracles would be happening and they will do something very smart without thinking that Justin is not today in the team. Justin, about I told you, the previous day man of the match, and the 2 innings he have played superbly. He was given rest in this very match because Cricket West Indies B team has already reached to the playoff. So they had to pay the price right from the beginning because of the absence of Justin. Rutherford came along with a Springer to bat and to open the innings for the Cricket B West Indies, while Rutherford fell out cheaply after making 5 runs, while the Springer made 19 runs on 11 balls. So they were out, and then Brandon King, he came and he made the 12 runs, and the Nicholas Pooran, the fabulous man who saved them in the opener, he could only make the 13 runs before his fellow countryman Sheldon Cottrell made him LBW, and their hopes started to die in the upcoming moments. And then the wicketkeeper Bramble struggled a lot, but he couldn't make the things click on the other end, making the 5 runs and fell out cheaply. And the Kevin Hodge, the huge West Indian who was given the chance also in the T20, he also has done the debut for the West Indies in the India, and strong hopes with them, but ultimately Kevin Hodge made the 43 and he was bowled by Cottrell, and he was out after making 43 runs, and then nothing could have been happened. And the last hope was there, the Fabius Allen, the second man of the match for them in this tournament, Fabius Allen, but he was bowled by the brilliant Russell today on the 29th, and they collapsed ultimately and lost the match to the Vancouver Knights. So because of the excellent performance of the Knights, Chris Gayle came and he should have been man of the match, but the problem was this, that his fellow man and countryman Sheldon Cottrell, who was the pick of the wickets with 4 wickets in the limited over quota of the 4 overs, he remained the man of the match, and he has snatched that from the big guy Chris Gayle. Anyhow, it was a team game. Chris Gayle, when came to the conference, he told that he's very happy over the Sheldon Cottrell. He saved them, he saved the blushes of the Vancouver Knights, make them the clear margin up from the Hawks as well as from the Edmonton Royals. So now the things are progressed like this, that the two teams now, Cricket West Indies B and Vancouver Knights, they have qualified for the next round with the 8 and 7 points respectively. So these two have gone for the playoffs, and we will take a short break and we will come back to tell you what happened in the next game between the Toronto Nationals and the Montreal Tigers. Again, I remind you that the beginning game today, it was a double header. So the first game was between the two toppers, the Vancouver Knights and the Cricket West Indies B, and the second game now has to be discussed after the break is between the two bottom teams at the table, both having 2 points each, Toronto Nationals and Montreal Tigers. Toronto Nationals is the team of the Steve Smith, dejected Australian captain, and Darren Sammy, while Montreal Tigers, as you know, are having the Latish Malinga and lot of other stars, and Henry and the lot of other South Africans in this squad. So important thing is this, that if anyone who wins the match today versus Toronto Nationals or Montreal Tigers need to beat the opposition in a style and with a huge margin to overcome the Winnipeg Hawks, who are also at the 4 points now at the bottom of the table. So whoever will win will have a 4 points, but they need to beat the run rate. So we will see which team will today win the match, and will they be able to beat the run rate of the Hawks, or will they be able to accelerate the runs, or will they be able to beat the opposition by a huge margin? Because if they didn't beat the opposition by a huge margin, Winnipeg Hawks will be smoothly sailing towards the playoffs. If they have to cross the Winnipeg Hawks, they have to do something extra special. You are watching Match Point by Dr. Adnan. It's time for a small short break, and when I will come back from the break, we will tell you what happens next in the Toronto Nationals versus Montreal Tigers. Keep watching Match Point. I'm Dr. Adnan, and you are tuned in on eAwaaz.
Kieran Pollard from the Toronto Nationals here. So Kieran, just start off with the team's performance, that last play, the last ball of the game, and what the outlook for the next round.
Yeah, obviously happy to get over the line. We have been struggling, as a team to put a game together, and it showed here in the back end that we still needed all 11 players to bat and to finish that run. So, I think for us it has been a sort of a disappointing campaign the way we have played. But at the end of the day, winning a cricket game is not easy, and coming over the line, I think we have to give ourselves a round of applause for that.
Okay.
Hello Karen, how are you? First of all, congratulations for the win. And I am Dr. Adnan from Match Point. So when you were playing, we wanted you to finish the innings. It was reminding me of those days of Karachi Kings versus Lahore and your push-ups. I wanted you to finish, and we want to see the push-ups, but any overtime it was a good win. But now, what is the morale of the team? At the end, we were wanting the big win from Toronto Nationals to exceed the run rate for the Winnipeg Hawks.
Yeah, of course. The morale is high. As I said, for winning a cricket game, we have been struggling to put a game together since the first game. And personally, I'm a bit disappointed as well. Getting out in that situation, the game could have gone either way. After that, being the experienced player that I am, I should have been able to be there, I say, at the end. But these things happen. The script was already written. We are just there in the middle trying to perform, and entertain the crowd. So as I said, we got that win, something we have been looking for the last 4 or 5 days, and hopefully we have a day off, and then we come back again on Tuesday and see if we can get another 2 points and see where that takes us, at the end of the tournament.
Steve, on Sportsnet, this is a bit more like a general question, but can you tell me what exactly attracted you to played TV and playing like
I'm not getting you.
what exactly attracted you to play in like local T20? Like why did you come to the league in the first place?
Well, obviously, it's a situation where all around the world, different countries are having their own T20 leagues. They want to get their players, that sort of exposure. And we international cricketers and we cricketers who play around the world, come in to share our experiences, with the associate nations and their players. So again, it's just a matter of us, sharing our experience and giving them an opportunity to play on the world stage and with cameras and fans and things like that. It only augurs well, for them, in the future.
Hi, Tasneem, Gorilla Cricket, London. First of all, congratulations on great bowling innings and a fantastically entertaining batting innings as well. Can you tell us what kind of mind frame and energy it takes to try and turn around a more poor group stage effort for a win like this?
It takes a lot. I can safely say last night, yesterday after that game, it was demoralizing. I went to my room and it was just like, you're there, family is there, everyone is there, but I'm just there. Thinking about what needs to be done, and then we have a few discussions with the senior players in the team, the coaching staff, pretty relaxed, but in saying that, we had frank discussions, and I think more was needed from us, senior players, because we realized, the backup guys that we haven't been doing too well, for us. So it took a lot of energy, it took a lot of mental practice to come out and play the game last night, then come and try to play it today, and getting the opportunity, I think, to play in the afternoon as well, give us an idea of assessment of what the wicket is going to be like, and then getting to bowl first on the wicket, we knew exactly what we were going to encounter, as a team. So as I said, it took 11 of us to finish the game, but in the end of the day, that's why it's a team sport, and we're not playing, lawn tennis or golf.
Professor from the Pollard, you have been playing around for a long time, great success. How will you rate this tournament so far, playing in Canada?
It's difficult to rate. It's an opportunity they get, to play and getting stars to come. Again, it's not about rating the tournament. It's about congratulating the effort of the guys behind the scenes, the owners and different things who have put the tournament together. Firstly, to get it off the ground, and then you try to learn from certain mistakes or certain mishaps that I've had. So again, I think it's too early now to try to judge and rate the tournament. Give it some time, and hopefully they can get things right, and after a couple of years, then we can be discussing that sort of question.
Hello, this is Kumar from First Post. So you didn't bowl that much in the last 2 years in T20 cricket, but in this tournament you bowled 80 runs. So is this because of the pitch, or will we see Kieron Pollard bowling consistently in the upcoming tournaments as well?
Luckily enough, I have a captain who I've played under for a long period of time, and he knows what I can do, and I've given the opportunity here to bowl. The wicket, as yes, it suits my sort of bowling, but you still have to go and put the ball in the areas to get it done. So again, as I said, thanks to Darren giving me that opportunity, and hopefully these 18 overs, you guys can spread it around the world and show that Kieron Pollard is still bowling and he still has something to offer in the bowling aspect of cricket.
So now the question for Toronto Wrestlers is simple. You need to just win the game and you will qualify for the playoffs with 6 points, irrespective of your negative net run. So what are the areas that you need to improve for the last game against the Vancouver Knights? And in the first game, you beat the Vancouver Knights, chasing 227.
Sounded pretty easy, yeah? Just beat them and we qualify, yeah?
Yes, that's the scenario, because I'm a statistician, so I figured it out.
Okay, and what time are we playing? Morning or evening?
It's I think in the second game, so evening.
Okay then, okay. Well, give us enough time to assess the wicket and think about what we need to do. Obviously, Vancouver, they have a very good team. They have some international stars there that we need to get over. And hopefully we can plan well and again take a collective effort and come out victorious as easy as you said it. Good, thanks.
So welcome back after the short break. We are in the ground and right now the match has been finished. The second exciting, nail-biting, thrilling finish between the Toronto Nationals and Montreal Tigers. Two teams which were at the bottom of the table. So both had to go for their survival. Both with the 2 points each, and the fittest, survival of the fittest was the rule of this game. So they have to beat the opponent with a big wide margin so that to come across on the front of the Hawks. because Hawks are also having 4 points, but in the net run rate, in the end, I will tell you, they were up in the point table. So anyhow, exciting, thrilling, and the first ever nail-biting finish after the opener today we saw on the day number 10. And this was between Toronto National and Montreal Tigers, where Toronto Nationals beat Montreal Tigers by the 1 wicket, sheer margin of 1 wicket. Castrick Williams hitting the straight drive to the Peter Siddle, the Aussies fast bowler, and winning in a style at the end. So let's tell you about the details of the game. As I told you about the previous game, that after winning the toss, Darren Sammy, Toronto Nationals, put Montreal Tigers into the bat. So Montreal Tigers starting with the Dan Smith 18, Sunil Narayan 10. He couldn't do much with the bat this time, but the George Worker, the Kiwi man, who is just a copy of Jacob Oram. He comes from the same breed as the Jacob Oram, the tallest man of the cricket. George Worker caught Sammy, bowled Pollard. He made brilliant and brisk 62 runs on only 52 balls. So this was the game changer. He changed the game, and later on his very crucial and important partnership along with the Moises Hendricks, the Aussie man, for whom I'm telling you again and again that he came from Portugal. He was born in Portugal at the same place where Cristiano Ronaldo was born, and later on at the tender age of 1 he moved to Australia, playing for the Southern Australia and then playing for the Team Australia also. Moises Hendricks playing the brisk 50 on the 39 runs and the respectable total, and at the end Sikandar Raza and Najibullah Zardan also came to bat, and total was 176 for the loss of 4 wickets in 20 overs. So the match was yet not finished. Toronto Nationals was having the huge target to chase to stay in the tournament against the Montreal Tigers. Toronto Nationals were the team who chased in the very first game with a huge margin of 228. They chased with a Steve Smith, with a Darren Sammy, and this time we were expecting again something to be done extra usual. So just at the end I want to tell you about the bowling of the Toronto Nationals. First of all, that the pick of the bowlers was Mohammad Sami, who gave away 34 runs. He was quite expensive in his 4-over quota, but actually he took 3 wickets, and the 1 wicket was taken by the Kieran Pollard. He was also a little bit expensive after 4 overs, giving away 31 runs. So Toronto Nationals came to the bat. So when they came to bat, we were expecting some big fireworks from Kami, which we were seeing in the PSL, but unfortunately Kami got unbelievably 4 chances against Malinga in the very first over. He was out in the very first over by the hit wicket, but later on the umpire review, that was the no ball. He was given the chance, he was given the free hit, but ultimately he couldn't click. He couldn't click on the free hit, and then the next over came, and ultimately in the 4 overs Kami got 4 chances, but Kami couldn't flourish with his bat, and it was too late for him. On 16 balls Kami made 19 runs, and he was bowled by Hendricks and caught Najibullah, Afghani superstar, and then the Johnson Charles was bowled by Malinga, caught Ramdeen on 0 without troubling the scorer, and then the Steven Smith got out cheaply on 3. We saw that at the beginning when Kami and Steve Smith came, both were struggling. An extraordinary piece of spell we have seen from Latish Malinga, and totally unplayable. Kami and Steven Smith were struggling, and both were not able to play the lethal Latish Malinga, and then game was changed when both of them were out. The old star, that old hero Devchich, came into the action along with the Canadian skipper Nitish Kumar, and Devchich made the brisk 43 on 34 balls, while Nitish Kumar making 23 balls, 46 runs. Nitish Kumar, if you are not knowing, I want to tell you about this guy, a smart guy from Canada, and the second most successful captain of the Canada after Ashish Baghai and Nitish Kumar have been playing in the under 15 Cricket Canada, under 15 American team, and also the under 19 Canadian team. He was the youngest player of all these 3 teams, but this is not at the end of Nitish Kumar. One more fact I would just want to tell you to make you to give you surprise, and that is that the Nitish Kumar is the youngest man to play the Cricket World Cup. When the Canadian team joined the 2011 Cricket World Cup, he was the youngest, not only from the Canada, but it is also the world record to join the cricket field at the World Cup days. So Nitish Kumar, a very sound innings of 46, all-round strokes we have seen, and he demolished Montreal Tigers all around and gave the solid foundation he laid, and ultimately Toronto Nationals, he gave them the way to win the match. And then came after he was out, and the match was still stuck up because it was not runnable. More runs were required to overcome the huge score of Montreal Tigers, and ultimately Kieran Pollard came, and Kieran Pollard, who made 37 brisk on the 21 balls. If you remember the season number 2 of the PSL, when he was playing for the Karachi Kings, you still be remembering the match against Lahore Qalandars, when the last ball, 2 balls needed 2 sixes, and Kieran Pollard sent them out of the Dubai Stadium, and then the famous push-ups and sending the chance of the Karachi Kings towards the playoffs. So same thing happened, but Kieran Pollard today couldn't pull bat out at the end, and he got out finally while he was accelerating the score. So later on, Dhaliwal came, and he was out on 0. Osama Mir was LBW, bowled Belenga on 1, but little unfortunately, because the leg stump was missing when we saw on the replay. But actually he should have been given the life, but there was in the tournament in the beginning, we have seen that there was not the reviews system in this Cricket Canada Global T20 tournament. So Osama Mir couldn't come to bat again, and then all the things were stuck up on the last over, when there were 13 required, and Mohammad Sami and Kestrick Williams, and then the Mohammad Sami not out 8, Kestrick Williams 4. On the last 2 balls, 2 runs were required. 1 dot ball was given when the single was taken by Sami, and Kestrick Williams, he did the crossing, and then ultimately both the players were mixed up, and then it was decided that Kestrick Williams will play the last 2 balls. And Kestrick Williams, after missing the 1 ball, and the last ball, second last ball was coming, and he played it on towards the straight boundary, little bit towards the offside, and it went for the 4. But the Toronto Nationals' fate couldn't go to the 4. I mean, they couldn't match the beauty of 4 points of Winnipeg Hawks, now lacking behind on the run rate. They went on the 4 along with the Hawks, but their run rate is still less. As I told you in the beginning, that whether today's champs are Montreal Tigers or whether Toronto Nationals, they need to beat the opposition by the huge margin. If you can't beat with a huge margin on the run rate, Hawks are still on the up. So let me tell you the point table at the end. I just want to compare, and I want to tell you that what's the position for the playoffs, because right now 2 teams have finally qualified now for the playoffs. Those are the 2 toppers, the Vancouver Knights, the team of Chris Gayle, and the Cricket B West Indies, which was the team to beat, and today it was beaten by the Knights. So now the Toronto Nationals and Montreal Tigers at the base, and in the midway Winnipeg Hawks are there. So Winnipeg Hawks are now plus 1.44, with the Toronto Nationals now lacking behind with a plus 0.003. So big match coming. Big match is Toronto Nationals versus Vancouver Knights. Toronto Nationals have to beat Vancouver Knights in a do-die match. If they beat Vancouver Knights in a do-die clash, they will go to the playoffs, and then we can see the big one. But still, fingers are crossed, and we will come back. We will tell you that's what's going next. So tomorrow there is a no game. It's a rest day tomorrow for all the teams, and when day after tomorrow, on Tuesday, the Global T20 Canada will be resumed. We are seeing the very important match, the same match which I told you, the playoff match, because today it's the end of the round games. So in the first playoff, Toronto Nationals have to beat Vancouver Knights to stay in the tournaments. So till then, time for me to sign off here from the King City Stadium, and I hope when the play will be resumed, we will back to you, and Eavaz team will be back to you with a full zeal and zest along with a match point. Till then, take care and bye-bye.